everybody. So I have decided while I'm waiting for Matt and Layla to get here, I'm going to learn some new skills in my spare time when I'm not doing work or schoolwork or anything like that. So today we are making homemade pasta and Alfredo, chicken Alfredo. So first and foremost, we are going to make our own pasta. We are going to use this flour. It is uh, unbleached and it's not enriched. It's just regular flour. Nothing in it. No chemicals, no nothing. Just ground wheat basically. And then I got some eggs, 3 farm fresh eggs, and I have half a teaspoon of salt and half a tablespoon of olive oil. And you have to make a nest with the flour and put your eggs and all your ingredients in it. So what I did was I made a nest. I sprinkled my salt because then it just gets into the flour a lot easier. And then I cracked my eggs and then put my oil on top. And now we are going to mix it. See, can you see the nest? With our hands. So if you don't like to cook with your hands, if you don't like the way things feel, do not do this at home. Do not make your own pasta. So first you gotta kind of poke each egg to make it easier, and we're just gonna mix it together. And it's gonna be a little dry at first. But it says keep working it. You can also use a fork for this part so you can like kind of mix your eggs in first and then knead your dough. But why waste a fork when you're already going to be getting your hands dirty? I would just recommend making sure you have your wedding rings off. Any jewelry, take that off first. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of getting it off my hands so I can get a better grip of the dough that's dry, of the dry flour. Just kind of playing with it until it needs, until we can get all the dough, all the flour mixed into dough. This is my first time, by the way. I didn't make this and then say, oh, I'm gonna make a video. I've never made noodles before. So I'm making noodles now. I think next time, maybe a fork. Yeah. I was like, why waste a fork? But maybe a fork, mix in a fork in first to break your eggs and to mix your eggs in. Maybe that's why they do that. Just kind of getting it all off my fingers here. So you're just gonna knead it for about 10 minutes till it's all smooth and it's no longer sticky. You see it's like really sticky on your hands right here. So you're just gonna keep kneading it until it's smooth and no longer this sticky. And then you're going to let it rest for 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes, you're gonna knead it for 10 minutes and then let it rest for 30 minutes. At room temperature with just a little plastic wrap. and you're just gonna keep kneading it until you get it all silky smooth, and then you're gonna let it rest for 30 minutes. So I will see you back when it's rested. Okay, and we're back. It's been 30 minutes. Your dough should look like this. It shouldn't stick to the table. And basically, we're just gonna flatten it out and make noodles, basically. Also, I know that the previous video, I didn't knead it for a full 10 minutes because I didn't want you guys to just sit here and get bored watching me knead dough for 10 minutes. So I stopped it and kneaded it the rest of the way, just so you're aware. So make sure you knead your dough for at least 10 minutes. It would be a lot more helpful if we had, if you had like a rolling pin, like you could roll your dough out. But I do not have one here, so hand press it is. If you want your water boiling already when you go to do this, you want to start your water, and because when you put your noodles in, you got to put them into boiling salted water. You can also use your arm, would be a great press. See, I'm just kind of rolling my arm like this. If you don't have a rolling pin, anything will do. You don't want your noodles super duper thick. I mean, really it's up to you how thick you want your noodles. Noodles shouldn't be super duper thick because like we're making some fettuccine noodles, like the square ones. I guess it's fettuccine. I don't have anything. Oh, you know what? Got a cup. I might have squished it too hard to the table though. Yeah. Okay. And you kind of want to square it out. You want to get it kind of squared out. And I'll show you why in a second. Alright, so you kind of want to square it out, make it like a square, and then you're going to take it, and you're just going to kind of roll it, and make like a burrito omelet thing, like that. You don't want to squish it together when you roll it, because you want it to look like this, okay? Kind of like if you were making cinnamon rolls. And then you're going to cut it. And then this is just the end. But then you're going to have your noodles. And I don't want to cut too hard, so I got to put this on a cutting board. See? Okay. I'm working with like a really dull knife, so bear with me here. And then you're going to unroll your noodle. You don't want to squish it as you're cutting it, because then you have noodles. Okay? and then I'll show you the finished product in a little bit. So your noodles should look a little something like this. Okay. Depending on, you know, if you have a rolling pin or not, they'll be thicker or thinner, depending on what kind of pasta you like, but they should look a little something like that. And then you're going to put them into boiling hot water. See the, oh, hold on, I don't want to drop you. See the water's boiling? I fogged up the phone. The water must be boiling. Okay, now I got the rest. And they're going into boiling hot water. Careful you don't splash it on yourself and hurt yourself though. Okay? Alrighty guys, and here we go. I used such a tiny bowl, I don't know why I did that. Let me put it on a plate. Get my sauce on it. Okay. There we go. My noodles are very thick. I ain't gonna lie, they're very, very thick. I didn't have a thing to make them thinner, so. Oh. Even though it's a kind of a thicker noodle, that's delicious. 10 out of 10, recommend. Toodles.